Hello, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today I'm going to be taking an oldie but a goodie and making something new out of it, which is so much fun, don't you think? So this one is a variation of the Cloister shell shawl done as a blanket form. Now, also, that shawl, I believe, was referred to as the South Bay shawl. And then I also did a tutorial where it was done in rows back and forth, and that was the coquette stitch. So it's a very versatile stitch. It's only a 2-row repeat, which you know I love. And it is so fabulous and so much fun. And I couldn't wait to share with you guys because this one took me a while. I used for this piece 2 skeins of Pound of Love, and all I had left was this tiny little ball. And this was the antique white colorway, by the way. And this was all that I had left. And I used, where's my hook? Here's my hook. I used for this particular yarn, which is about a weight of 3, I used a size H 5mm hook. Now for today's piece, I'm going to be using Red Heart Super Saver in an off-white, if you will, and I think it's Aran, if I'm not mistaken, or a soft white. And because it's a little bit thicker, I'm going to be using a size I 5.5mm hook. And you can use really, of course, whatever works best for you, by all means. Just a hook size that goes with your yarn, whatever that may be. And the really cool thing about this pattern is that it creates a really lovely shell edge all the way around, and it's really quite simple. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so I've got my size I 5.5mm hook, and I've got my worsted weight yarn. Now, like I said, you can use whatever works for you. This is just what I'm, using for the sake of the tutorial. And so we're going to start, of course, with a slip knot. And we're going to be starting in the center of the blanket with it. It reminds me of sort of like a pinwheel or a flower. And we need to start by chaining up 7. Now, the first chain is going to act as our magic ring, which, you can go about that in whatever means you wish to do. I like to use a chain for that. And then after chaining the first one, chain 6 more for a total of 7. So 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then double crochet into that first chain. Like so. And this creates one quadrant of our initial pinwheel, flower, starburst, whatever you want to call it. So then going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into that same first chain or magic ring, whatever you're using. Okay, so that's another quadrant done. We're just going to pull that a little bit tighter. Chain 3. And then another double crochet into that same chain. Then chain 3, and then we're going to join to our first double crochet that we created. So chain 3, and we need to do a slip stitch into the third chain from the bottom, like so. And just do a slip stitch. There we go. And so now we have 4 equal quadrants to work with. And this is going to be our framework. Okay, so that is the foundation, or round 1, however you wish to put it. And I'm not going to be doing timestamps because, like I said, it's only a 2-row repeat. So Well, 2 round repeat. At any rate, let's continue on. Alrighty, moving right along, we're going to start by chaining up 3, 1, 2, and 3. And into this chain 3 space, we need to make 7 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then double crochet into the double crochet, the spoke of the wheel, locks it in place. Then we need an additional 7 double crochets into the next space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Double crochet into the next double crochet, the spoke of the wheel. 7 double crochets into the next chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Double crochet into the next double crochet, the spoke, right, like so. And then one more set of 7 double crochets into this space right here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, then to finish up the round, we're going to do a slip stitch into the top 3rd chain where we initially started. Just do a slip stitch right in there. And that is the end of the 2nd round. So pretty already. Okay. All right, for the next round, going to start by chaining up 6. Now, the first chain 3 is going to count as our double crochet. The second chain 3 is going to count as a chain 3 space, and you'll see what I mean when we come full circle. So, chain up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then, double crochet into that same stitch down below. So right down into here. Like so. Yep, if I can get it. There we go. So like I said, this counts as a double crochet, chain 3, and then we have another double crochet, and that is all coming out of that same stitch right there, okay? And then chain 1, and skipping 2 double crochets down here, going into the next 3 double crochets with double crochets. That's 1, and 2, and 3, chain 1, skipping the next two, and we've reached our spoke once again. You know, it aligns up from the previous round. So skipping these next two, going into the spoke one, if you will, with a double crochet, chain 3, into that same stitch, another double crochet, chain 3, and another double crochet. Okay, and so this is how all of the corners are going to look. So we've got 2 spaces, 2 chain 3 spaces, and this one is one of the 2 chain 3 spaces right there. All right. I know it looks relatively like a circle right now, but as you keep working, it will look more and more like a square, not to worry. So we just did our corner space. So that was a chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. So now chain 1, and like we did before, skip the next 2 double crochets going into the next 3 double crochets with double crochets. There we go. Chain 1, skip the next 2 double crochets. Again, we've reached another corner spoke, so to speak. So going in with a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, and in that same stitch, once again, double crochet. So we have another corner done. Chain 1, skip the next 2 double crochets, and then going into the next 3 with double crochets. Chain 1, skip the next 2 double crochets, going into the next one, which is going to be another corner. So going in with a double crochet, chain 3, and into that same stitch, double crochet, chain 3, and going in once again into that same stitch with a double crochet. All right, so that is yet another corner done. See, you can kind of see where I'm going with this already. Kinda. So then we need to finish up this last side here. So chain 1, skip the next 2 double crochets, and then going into the next 3 stitches with double crochet stitches. There we go. Chain 1. Now we need to go into the base of these 2 stitches here, which is this opening right there, with a double crochet. There we are. Then chain 3 and slip stitch to the 3rd from the bottom or the 4th from the side. I like to go 3rd from the bottom. So you can see here's 1, 2, and 3. And the reason why I say 4th from the left is because we need those 3 chains separating at the top. Okay, so just slip stitch right in there. And so now we have another finished corner right here. So I'm going to lay it out for you so you can see how your piece should look in approximation. Like that. All right. And now we're almost up to the point where it's going to start repeating. So not to worry. We shall get there, my dears. We shall. All right, so for the next round, I'm going to start by chaining up 3. 1, 2, and 3. And this round is going to be very similar to the round that we had right down in here. So after chaining up 3 into this space here, 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1. Okay, then into the middle double crochet, make 1 double crochet stitch, chain 1. All right, then skipping the next double crochet and the chain 1 space here, going directly into the next chain 3 space with 7 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then into the corner spoke, that double crochet, make a double crochet. Then into the next chain 3 space, another 7 double crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1, double crochet into the middle double crochet of the previous 3. Chain 1, and double crochet 7 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Double crochet into the double crochet from below. Another 7 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, then chain 1, double crochet into the middle double crochet, chain 1, and you guessed it, 7 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just need to pull out some more yarn. All right. So I did my 7, then double crochet into the double crochet from down below. And then into the next chain 3 space, 7 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1, double crochet into the middle double crochet, chain 1, and then last but not least, 7 more double crochets into this chain 3 space right there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then, last but not least, we've reached full circle, so it's a matter of doing a slip stitch into the initial chain 3 double crochet that we made. Ta-da! So you can see it's really starting to come into its own already. Okay. On to the next row. Round. All right, so now this is where the repeats really start to happen. And I'm going to, explain why, and you'll see why. So we're going to start just like we did here, where we needed our 2 open spaces, like little eyes. We're making those spaces again. So to do that, chain up 6, because we need the chaining up of 3, and then the chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And double crochet into that same stitch, like so. All right, chain 1, skip the first 2 doubles, and then double crochet into the next 3, just like we did previously. Chain 1. Now here's the difference. We need these spaces also along the sides of, because these are the corners, so we need along the sides, we need those spaces as well. So into this double crochet right here, after doing your 3 doubles and your chain 1, go into the double with the double, and we're creating another chain 3 space. So 1, 2, and 3. And then double crochet into that same stitch. So we're creating a new space. Like we did here, we're creating one along the sides as well. Yes. So then, continuing right along, chain 1, and skipping the first 2 double crochets going into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th for 3 double crochets. Like so. Chain 1, skip the next 2 double crochets, and again, we've reached our spoke, if you will. So, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch, and that completes our corner, like so. Just grabbing some more yarn here. All right, so then to go across this side, chain 1, skip the next 2 doubles, and then go into the next 3 with double crochets. Chain 1, going into this double crochet with a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, and double crochet. So we got a new eyelet. Chain 1, skip these first 2 doubles, and then go into the next 3 stitches with doubles. Chain 1, skip the next 2 doubles, and we've reached another corner double crochet. So, got my double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch. So now we have our 2 openings once again. So then, going along this side, chain 1, skip the first 2 doubles, going into the next 3 doubles with double crochet stitches. Chain 1, skip the next 2 here, going directly into that 1 double with a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. All right, chain 1, skip the first 2 doubles, going into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th with doubles. Okay, chain 1, skip the next 2, we're making another corner. So that's a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch. And we're almost done with this round. So I got my corner, so chain 1, skip the next 2 doubles, going into the next 3 with doubles. Chain 1, and then going into the double crochet in the center here with a double crochet, chain 3, and another double crochet, chain 1. Okay, skipping the first 2 doubles, going into the next 3 with double crochet stitches, chain 1, and then last but not least, we need to go into this same space right here with a double crochet, like so, chain 3, and then slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the bottom to complete our round. Ta-da! They almost look like little butterflies or little angels, I think. It's very pretty. All right, so that's the end of the round, and we shall continue right along. Alrighty. All right, so picture that what we just did was a round 1, if you will, where we create all of these eyelets and things. Well, this next round would be, say, a round 2, which is the kind of round that I would end off on. So start by chaining up 3, acts as our first double crochet, and then into the chain 3 space, 7 double crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 chain 1, double crochet into the middle double crochet, like so, chain 1, and we reached a chain 3 space. So 7 double crochets into that space. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1, double crochet into the middle double crochet, chain 1, and then 7 double crochets into the first corner space, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, double crochet into the double crochet, 7 double crochets into the next chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can already see how it is repeating itself. So gorgeous. I love it. I love it. I can't help it. I love it. All right, so then we're going to continue right along by chaining 1, double crochet into the middle double crochet, chain 1, 7 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, chain 1, double crochet into the next middle double crochet, chain 1, and then 7 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Now, I would suggest, I'm not doing it right now, which is not my usual thing, but I would suggest double counting your 7s, your 7 double crochets. That's 6 and then 7, because even though it's only a 2-round repeat, when you start getting your blanket rather large, you don't want to have to go back and undo the better part of 2 rounds just because you made a mistake, not double counting your 7s. So what I do is after I finish one side of my blanket, I go back and I check. So I've got, as you can see, 2, 4, and then an additional 3. Then I have my solitary one, and then I've got 3, and then 4. Then I've got 3 and 4, and then 3 and 4. And then this one right here, because I double crocheted into the double crochet. So my counts are even, and I would strongly suggest that you do the same because it will save you some grief in the long run. Trust me, I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the rest of this round off camera, and I will set you up with the next one, and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm almost done with the round. I just wanted to touch base. So I already did my middle of the row cluster here, and I just need to finish up this corner here. So after doing my double into the middle, then chain 1, and 7 more doubles into the remaining corner space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then, quite simply, just do a slip stitch into the top third chain of our initial double crochet. And there you go. And so what I would do, quite frankly, is I would make the round that we just did, I would make that my finishing round, because I think it looks really nice with the shells around the edges. I think it's gorgeous. Very, very much so. You could do it, with the other round, by all means. To each their own, as I always say. So you just keep going on, repeating the last 2 rounds over and over and over. And so if you want to keep going, all you need to do would be remembering that you need these spaces again, right? So you would chain up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then double crochet into that same stitch. Then chain 1, skip the first 2 doubles, going into the next 3. With double crochets, of course. Chain 1, and then we have our solitary double crochet in the middle there. So into there, you would be creating a new eyelet, just like we did on the corners. So that's a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, then chain 1, skip the next 2 doubles, going into the next 3 with doubles. It's 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, going into the next lonely little double right here, create a new opening. So that's a double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet, chain 1, skip the first 2 doubles, going into the next 3 doubles with doubles, chain 1, skip the next 2 doubles, and then we create our corner eyelets again. So that would be double crochet, chain 3, into the same stitch, double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet. So by all means, if you like this as an edge more so, more power to you. Me personally, I like the shells, to each their own. So if you ever get stuck, all you need to do is look at the pre-existing rounds and see where you're at, because it's just a 2-round repeat. And that is why I didn't, go into round numbers too much, because after this point, it's just the 2 rounds over and over and over. Whether you're starting off with your chaining of 6, doing a double into itself, and then continuing on making these open spaces, or continuing on by doing your 7 double crochets, and then 1 in the middle, 7 double crochets, 1 in the middle, and so on and so forth. So that is the Cloister shell blanket, and I really hope that you enjoyed this. This is a really easy project. It's a lot of fun. I would say, though, keep an eye on your clusters of 7 and be sure to double count, because if you count twice, you won't make the mistake even once. And so if you like this as much as I did, because you know I did, please give me a little thumbs up button down below because I appreciate your support more than you know. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please do so because I do try to post videos as often as I can, whether it's crocheting, knitting, audiobook narration, or please do visit my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games, for a video game playthrough commentary. It's a lot of fun. Would love to see you there too. And also, I will be putting links in the description box down below for my other YouTube channel, the previous tutorials that I've done, and I hope that you enjoy it very much. And until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.